This is Bill Incardona along with my special guest, Mike Sigel. And we're going to be bringing you the blow-by-blow description of the feature match. In the feature match, slates two of the finest players in the world. A veteran of the game, Danny DiLiberto, playing probably the best young player in the world today, Johnny Archer. Mike, what do you think Johnny Archer has to do to win this match? And I'm going to ask you another question. What do you think Danny DiLiberto has to do to win this match?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've seen both players play very long now, and Danny, again, is a top veteran player. Now, see, he feels very comfortable because he's breaking the balls very well on these tables. He's breaking from the side rail. But then again, young Archer has a very, very powerful break, and I think I'd have to give the edge to Archer. I mean, I'd like to see Danny win the match, but I think Archer has the edge because he has a much bigger break.
Okay, well, Danny broke the balls well. He hit the one ball very squarely, pocketing two balls on the break. Unfortunately, the three ball is the next ball he has to shoot, and I don't think he has much of an offensive shot. So I'm going to give you this shot, Mike.
All right. Well, he has the option here to push out or try and hit the ball any way he can, either going into a rail or trying to hit the three ball. As you notice, if you look at the table, I'll tell you how funny nine ball is. Danny, if you look, can pocket any ball except the three, and that's the one he has to pocket. So I think he's going to elect to push out and try and use his experience to put Johnny Archer in a difficult situation.
Okay, now if Danny can hit the end of the three ball, which is possible from this angle, I would try to go and push, hit the three. I wouldn't give Johnny the option right here because Johnny can hook him behind the 5-7 very easy.
Well, sometimes you're right. And I think Danny made a very poor shot there because Johnny Archer can hit the three ball, and the cue ball can swing behind the 5 and 7, and you can put the three up by the 9 or by the side pocket. I think that looks to me like the best shot.
And he has a lot of area to do this.
Yeah. This was a very bad shot, I think, for Danny DiLiberto.
Oh, well, Johnny hit it a little short, and leaving Danny, leaving Danny a shot on the three to do something with. Let's see how Danny deals with this. Oh, Danny tried to bank the three in the corner pocket. He hit it fairly well, but not well enough.
Now, Danny plays also very good on wet tables. We were commentating a match with Larry Hubbard and Dennis Hatch. Danny feels very comfortable in these conditions, so I think this is going to be a very close match.
Well, that's the shot I like to begin the match with for Archer, and he elected to roll the ball, leaving Danny a cross-corner bank. Danny missed the cross-corner bank and left Archer the safety that he just executed perfectly.
Yeah, that's exactly what Archer should have done on the very first shot, but it turned out all right because there you see Danny's in a very difficult situation.
And I don't believe he has much of a shot here. I don't even think he has a rail to go to.
Well, I think Billy. I think when you'd run off from here. I think Billy, as good as you play. I don't really know. But of course, you know, many times
we're playing nine ball, not straight pool, Micah.
See, now that was a very, very smart shot. A lot of people, what they don't realize is instead of trying to kick at the three ball, which he had a very, very slim chance of hitting it, what he chose to do was hit the cue ball into the cushion and tie up the five ball. As you can see, that's going to be a very big problem for Johnny Archer. Many times, what people don't realize is if you can tie up two balls, sometimes your choice of hitting the lowest numbered ball is tough. You're better off maybe just moving a ball here or there and make it very difficult for the other player to run out.
That's exactly right, and that's some of the experience that's showing that Danny DiLiberto has over Johnny Archer. The younger players really don't think that way because of their lack of experience, but veterans like Danny DiLiberto, they're just geared to play that way, and they understand the game so much better.
Well, Johnny Archer, he's put the cue ball in a perfect position. Well, he's almost all right. If he would have been out a little further, his best shot is to shoot the 4 in the corner, go 2 cushions around the 8, and hope he plays the 5 in the corner pocket closest to where the 9 ball is.
I like that myself, and he's hit it fairly well. I don't know how. He's on a 50-yard line here, Mike.
Yeah, he laid. See, the table, the rails, the way the table is, it's a little wet, so it's very difficult to exactly pinpoint shots like that when you're going around the table. Now, he has many options here. He could hit the 5 ball and just stop again. See, good players, they don't look to run out. They look to win the game. To win the game, he can hit the 5, stop behind the 7, and leave Danny DiLiberto again in a very difficult situation.
That's exactly right. There's more ways to winning a game than just running the balls off the table.
Of course, it's always better to run out because then you don't give your opponent a chance to kick the ball in or get lucky on you.
That's when you have to use your discretion when the right time is to run out.
He made a nice shot, but as you can see, look where he wound up.
Maybe he should have considered your shot and stuck him to the 7.
Well, sometimes when you win a match or lose a match, a lot of times in this game, it's not always cut and dry. Many times you have different situations that come up, and when you're playing good and going good, you seem to make the right choice.
That's true. It's early in the match, and Johnny figured probably I'll go to the offense right away, and hopefully I can jump on top of Danny and close him out early. And he tried to do that. Unfortunately, he didn't realize what the speed of the table would be like, and he finds himself behind the 7. But notice, Mike, he's taken out that short stick referred to as the jump stick, and this young man right here might be one of the best jump stick players in the world today.
Is that legal to use that stick or what?
Well, you answer it, Mike. You're the tournament player.
I don't know. Of course, right now there's no rules saying that your cue can be any length. I think there's been a lot of discussion about this particular cue length.
Well, on this particular cloth, Mike, it's very easy to jump balls because it's a thick cloth and it's kind of like cushioned. And as soon as you go into the cue ball, it comes up real quickly. And sometimes the jump stick, really, you don't need the jump stick. You could do that with your regular stick. And that particular shot, I think Johnny should have used his regular stick to jump the ball.
Danny's in a good position here now. I think what he was trying to do is hit the cue ball. He might either follow one rail. I like going 2 cushions myself. It's easier to control. He chose to go 1 cushion.
Okay, he's landed with a very good angle. Appears to be a good angle from where I'm sitting, and all he's got to do is pocket the 8, go to the short rail, back out to the long rail. But obviously, I'm wrong. He's looking like he's trying to draw the ball.
He's straight in on the 8 ball. He's got to draw it back.
Okay.
See, there's something to learn there now. Many people, what they do is when they shoot 1 cushion, they try and go up table, get right where the 8 is. I would try and elect to go just past the side pocket. That would be my aiming point, so I'd make sure I have an angle on the 8.
Well, that's why you're one of the best players in the world, and possibly the best player in the world, because 9 ball is a game of angles, and you know that better than anyone. So at the end of game number 1, Danny DiLiberto takes the early lead 1-0. Now, this will be the second time Danny will have the opportunity to break the balls. On his first break, he pocketed 2 balls. Now, both of us know that Danny's not one of the better breakers in the world. And to pocket 2 balls on the break, I think Danny should be very happy with that. Or for that matter, anybody should. What do you think about that?
He is. Like I said, he's breaking the balls very well. He's breaking from the side rail. He's getting a lot of results. So I think he feels very, very comfortable. Of course, we haven't seen Archer break. Now, Archer does break him devastating. He hatch. It seems like the younger you are, the harder you break them. Isn't that true or what?
Well, the younger you are, the more energy and strength you have. At least that's the way I felt when I was young compared to how I feel now.
Same with me. I'm an over-the-hill player.
Oh, now all of a sudden you're claiming to be an old-timer, huh? Okay.
Oh, he hit those very bad.
Okay, Danny hit the 1 ball on the side and went into the corner pocket. Now, that's an indication that he hit the 1 ball extremely poor. So now Johnny Archer has an opportunity to do something defensively and possibly hook Danny off this. Let's see what he does.
See, I've given a little bit of lessons here and there, but the most important thing about breaking the balls in 9 ball is you always want to try and hit the 1 solid. What I would suggest is try and hit the balls maybe 75% is as hard as you can hit, but make sure you hit the 1 solid. As you're hitting the 1 more and more solid, then you can generate more speed, but you'll get a much better impact on the balls. They'll explode better, and you have a better chance of making one if you concentrate on hitting the 1 dead solid.
Oh, I agree with that totally, and that seems to be the concept that I use also. I would hit the 1 ball with about 75% speed. That way I could get a real good stroke and vision on the 1 ball after I break them a few times. Now I can pick up my speed. I can increase my speed, and then I can go into full gear with it. What do you think about that safety there?
That was a very good safety. Plus the 2-6 is tied up. Now, see, Danny is not really in a very tough situation here. Even if he can't hit the 1 ball, the 2-6, he can hit the 1 ball, but see, if he does sell out a shot, the 2-6 is in a tough situation for Archer.
Danny struck the ball very well.
Wow, he made a very good shot there.
And now he's confronted with the problem. He has no shot on the 2.
And the 3 and 5 are also tied up. This is one of those strange racks. Danny was forced to shoot at the 1. That's all he could do, so he figured he might as well try and pocket the ball. Then maybe he might try and just roll the cue ball. Very easy to hit the 2.
Well, that's what I would do. I would roll and try to get as close to the 2 as I could. That way it'll be very difficult for Archer to come back with a very good safety or with something effective from this point. Okay, well, that seems to be okay. The Archer can now shoot the 2 past the 6, but it requires a fine touch here. I don't know about this shot. Well, it looks like that was the shot.
Looked good to me.
Now
Danny, looked good to me.
Now Danny is in a situation where he doesn't want to be, and he's going to probably look to tie something up, but he's frozen to the six. There's not much
Yeah.
he can do now.
This is a very, very tough shot. Now, his best shot is to elevate the cue, hit the cushion, jump over the 6, and hit the 2. That's just what he's doing.
It's a trick shot. It's a trick shot. Let's see if he can execute it.
He
did.
made
Oh,
it.
my
Oh, my.
goodness, what a
He's-
shot, Danny DiLiberto.
He's in a worse
What
spot now
shot.
than he...
I once attended a ladies' event where every lady in the tournament had a better break than Cardona and Sigel.
I don't know why I allow people like that in the booth. That was the Professor Grady Matthews.
The heckler. That was a professor heckler.
Well, the only reason I allowed him to talk is we have a little time here, and I figured we could waste
Now,
something.
Here's... now, see, Danny is in a very, very difficult spot here. He's just got to try and hit the ball best he can. He almost did that.
Well, Danny made an excellent shot by jumping over the 6, pocketing the 2, but wasn't rewarded for it. He couldn't even hit the 3 after he made that type of a shot, which is really unfair. But in the meantime, he had to deal with what he had in front of him, so he tried. He tried to kick it at 3, and he missed it. Now, Archer has ball in hand. This is his first legitimate opportunity to do something with.
Well, he's in a pretty good situation. He can play the 3 ball in the side pocket, I believe, and all he's got to do is drift the cue ball down kind of in between the 4 and 9, and he can play the 4-8 combination. That looks like his best situation right now. Now, he was looking to shoot the 4 into the 6, but I think that's much more difficult. The 8 is near the pocket.
Yes,
So I believe
definitely.
his best situation is try and get right in the center of the 4 and 9, follow down table, and shoot the 4 into the 8. If he makes that, I think he has a very good chance to win the game.
And if he makes that, I think that there's no reason why he shouldn't win the game. Now, let's see if he can do it.
You know, it's tough to make those predictions now. We don't know what's going to... It looks so easy from up here, doesn't it? Huh? Doesn't
It's
it,
tough
Billy?
to make predictions, but I know one thing for sure. You're not going to stop making them.
That's right. Well, he is in a good spot now.
I was just kidding a moment ago. I've played the game for a living all my life, and I've learned a couple things listening to this fine commentary from Sigel and Incardona.
Well, thank you, Mr. Matthews, and you are a gentleman, and I've always said that of you.
Should we pay him the $10 an hour later, Billy? What do you think?
Okay, Mr. Young, Johnny Archer pocketed the combination like Mike suggested he should do. Now he's got an excellent opportunity to run the remaining balls on the table and tie up this match at 1 game apiece.
All right, now his biggest problem, obviously, he can make the 4. His biggest problem is getting from the 5 to the 6 ball. Now, there's 2 or 3 different ways he can do that. I prefer to use angles. He may choose to try and get straight on the 5 ball and draw down table. This is just a player's preference on what to do.
Well, most importantly, Mike, I feel that it's very important to get close to this ball.
Yeah.
Regardless of if it's an angle or straight in. If as long as you're close to the ball, I think that the 6 is located in the part of the table where you shouldn't have much of a problem gaining position on. Now he's going to have to draw this ball down the table, and he's going to have to be careful he doesn't draw this ball in the pocket.
Well, there's 2. He could try and leave the cue ball kind of in the center of the table and just cut the 6 in, or he can try and lay on the end rail. Whichever shot he prefers to do, we'll have to see what happens.
Oh, he forced it. That was a good shot,
he
Mike.
shot the shot.
That was an excellent shot because there was no way he could have gotten in trouble shooting that shot now that I've seen how he played it.
Yeah, that's the way I like to shoot the shots. I always like to use the rails and the angles on the table. Instead of drawing the ball the way down the table, I like to hit the ball into a cushion, back to another cushion. Those angles don't ever change.
That's exactly right. He figures his best angle here is on the bottom rail, and that's exactly what he did. He chose to go down to the bottom rail and taking the natural shot up to the 9.
Now it looks like he's just going to cut the ball in, cut the 7 in. Cue ball's going to hit the cushion, go towards the other side. Uh-oh, whoa.
Oh, he's okay. He's okay.
Boy, that was very close.
Yeah, right, but he's okay. This is game number 2, and if Johnny Archer pockets the 9, he will tie this matchup at 1 game apiece. Okay, Mike, now we're going to get an opportunity to watch Johnny Archer break the balls. And both you and I know that he is definitely one of the better breakers in the world.
Yeah, he sure is. He breaks good from both spots. Now, see, the main thing about the break is, now he's seen Danny break and make balls both times, even though he hit him real bad. Now, we'll see if, what I like to do is I like to watch where my opponent's breaking. If he's making balls, I'll break in the same spot. If he's not making balls, I'll change. Now, see, Johnny Archer's immediately breaking right where Danny broke. He feels he can make a ball if Danny is.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Johnny Archer, he has a lot of experience considering how young he is.
Yeah, he is very young, and he does have a lot of experience.
And he does have a big break. He's going to make the 7. He's going to make the 7.
The thing was, now, see, he didn't hit the ball solid. Going back to that again, now, if he had hit the ball solid, the cue ball would have been maybe where the 8 ball is, let's say. But
Exactly.
because he hit the balls bad on the side, the cue ball wound up on the end rail or our bottom rail, and he doesn't have a shot. That's another reason why it's very important to hit the ball solid. If you hit the ball solid, most of the time the cue ball would just generally stay somewhere near the center of the table, where your percentage of making the one ball or the lowest ball is greatly improved than where the cue ball is right now, behind balls.
Very well put, Mike. Very well put. Okay, now Johnny has an option. He's going to push here. And anytime you push, you have the disadvantage. And Mike, you know that. So now what would Danny do with this push?
Well, Danny, I've learned playing this game that when you're playing one foul ball in hand, the best thing you can try and do is snooker the guy. Now, Danny may not like this shot, but I think he should try and shoot it, because if he puts the one or the cue ball down table, he can snooker Johnny and also try and maybe get ball in hand. So he'll try and play some kind of a safe.
Well, he just missed the kiss on the one ball, and that was very close shot that he shot there. He could have gotten the kiss very easily, but he left distance. That's very important, to leave your opponent a lot of distance.
Now, if he would hit the shot if he would hit the one ball a little bit more on the left, he probably would have been behind the two.
Exactly.
And therefore, if he gets ball in hand, so that was a calculated risk that Danny wanted to shoot, because he knows if he gets ball in hand, he can run out. So he did elect to shoot that shot.
It was the right shot, no question about it. You can't let your opponent shoot that shot.
It looks like a lot of the games are turning out to snooker games.
Excellent
here,
speed. Excellent speed by Mr. Young, Johnny Archer. And usually young players don't have that type of a touch, but Johnny is a special type of a player. He's a young player with a lot of experience, and he's playing very well in the tournaments.
The most important thing you can do when you're playing 9-ball is always try and take the best advantage. Either if you shoot a long shot or a safety, whatever you feel is the best way to win the game, and then look at this shot. Wow.
Well, Mr. DeLiberto made another excellent kick, and he got rewarded this time.
He
And the
sure
last
did.
time he kicked over the 6, made the 2, and didn't get rewarded. But anytime you kick that well, you're going to eventually get rewarded.
This is another reason, and in fact, you're the one that even told me this many years ago, and I never forgot it. As you say, all the players learn things every day. When you have an opportunity to win the game, you always take it. I feel, because many times if you play a perfect safety like Johnny Archer did, the other guy kicks and leaves you in this situation.
Well, that's true. And if you feel that you can win the game, especially when it's early in the match.
Or any time. I mean, pool is played a lot of times by feeling. You know that as well as anybody.
Right, but sometimes you got to play the score too.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. I mean, you can't just go wild like sometimes like Dennis Hamp is doing. You don't want to do that.
Okay, Mike. Okay, let's go. Mr. DeLiberto now has an excellent opportunity to take the lead from young Johnny Archer again.
All right, now Danny's in a good spot. Now, what I would try and do is hit the 2 and have the cue ball go to the right side of the table in between the 6 and 8. Let's see, Danny chose to do this. That was a little risky, but see, he wanted to make sure he didn't have too much angle. In the 3-ball, he hit that shot dead perfect.
I liked the way he played it, because the room for error is much greater the other way. You know, I mean, he can get hooked by the 8. This way, he knows he's going to get a shot, and I like the way he played it. So he knows. Your shot may have been right for you, but that was right for him, and also for me.
Everybody plays different.
That's exactly right.
And you play more different than anybody, I think.
At times.
Now, see, Danny played a great shot there. All he did was hit the cue ball a little low, slid it, bumped the 6. That's a shot that a lot of people maybe don't realize, especially the younger players. Somebody like Johnny Archer that doesn't really know straight pool that well, which is Danny's probably best game. You learn how to bump balls and these little tricky position shots, and they show up over and over again.
And now he has the side pocket, the pocket of 6 in.
Mm-hmm. A little weak there, but I think he's okay.
Well, he should be able to handle this.
I'll tell you the truth, this is a little funny. This is a little funny. He's got to either hit it very, very easy, or he's got to hit it. He may. You know what he's going to do?
He can go into the 8 with the cue ball.
That's exactly right. He's going to shoot the 6, hit it firm, and draw into the 8 ball.
Oh, he
tried to hit it. See that?
It was important that he hit the 8.
Exactly
by passing the 8 on that side of the 8. If he didn't hit it, he would eventually end up in this position, and this isn't exactly where he wants to be.
This is terrible. Now, what happened there was the cloth is a little thick and wet, and therefore the cue ball doesn't have time to actually have enough backspin, and therefore the cue ball didn't draw as much as he thought, and he wound up in this situation.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for the pocket. This is a very typical angle. He's accustomed to being a straight. Well, he's a straight pool player.
Wow.
That angle is very familiar with.
Only you could have made that.
Well, a few years ago, I wouldn't have had any problem making that ball. But today, you know,
Whoa. He almost missed that. Woo.
You know, that shot creates a big
see,
problem for me. But in the meantime, Danny didn't have any problem making it, and he's the one at the table.
Yeah.
And at the end of game number 3, Mike, Danny leads in the match 2-1. No, go right ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
Go right ahead.
You see how I'm trying to talk right in front of you?
I knew I was going to have this problem up here, but that's great because I enjoy listening to you.
Billy, you really don't need to work in the booth on me and Mike. You can own up to being able to make a ball once in a while.
Okay, Professor. Go ahead, Mike. Let's hear it.
Oh, I have nothing to say. I'm going to watch this break right now. All right, now Danny broke. Oh, he didn't make a ball in the break. Now, to tell you the truth, Danny hit those better than his first 2 breaks, but he didn't make a ball. But as you can see, he did hit him solid. See where the cue ball is and the 1 ball. Both balls are semi in the center of the table.
That's exactly right.
So therefore, of course, it's not good to break, hit him solid, and not make one either.
Yeah,
so
it's not good to break for your opponent.
Yeah, so there's many different factors on the break. The break, the way the tables are playing, the way the great players are, all the players in the tournament are top players. The break is very important because you're getting the opening shot of the game.
Well, the break I consider the single most important shot in the game of 9-ball. And in a way, I feel that is unfair, but we can't do anything about it. That's just the way the game's played.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck. There's also a lot of luck on how the balls lay. Sometimes the balls hang in the pocket. Sometimes they're all over the table where it's very difficult to play a position.
Okay, now Johnny Archer shooting over the ball, which increases the possibility of him hitting the ball poorly, but that didn't bother him at all. He made the ball cleanly, and he stopped a little short, but I don't think he should have much of a problem here. He could play the 2 off the 7, Mike, and follow down for the 3 in the side.
Yeah, I think, well, he's going to play the 2 in the side probably, and then if he moves the 7 out of the way, he may be able to play the 3 in the same side where the 7 is. If he doesn't, he's probably going to have to bank the 3 ball cross side closest to where the 5 ball is. That's what he's looking at right now. Now, he can play the 2 off the 7, like I said. If he moves the 7, the 3 may go, but I think he'll probably elect to try and bank the 3 ball cross side.
Well, I like the first shot. I like, well, he's looking to play the 2 off the 7 and open up the pocket for the 3. And that's exactly what he did, and or at least that's exactly what he attempted to do unsuccessfully.
See, then again, now those kind of shots come from straight pool. Now, Danny probably would have made that very easy. Johnny Archer hasn't really been exposed to that game. And in straight pool, you learn a lot of little shots like that kiss shot and bumping balls, these type of things. And, of course, Dennis Hatch, now a young player, he is a good straight pool player. I think he understands the game very well. Some of the younger players today don't quite understand the game as well as some of the older players that grew up playing straight pool.
That's very true, Mike. That's very true. And if at all possible, if you're able to learn the game of straight pool, it would be in your best interest to play the game, because the game of straight pool creates a lot of situations for you that will make you much more aware of what's happening in pool.
Well, Johnny Archer now has a shot on the 2 ball, but then again, he's concerned about the 3. Now, there's a lot of different things he could do here. Oh, a 3 goes straight in that corner pocket. It's difficult to see from up here, isn't it?
The problem he has in this rack is very obvious. I can see it right now. It's the 6 and 7.
And I think he got on the wrong angle on the 3 also. He's all right, but if he'd have been on the other angle of 3, he could have just shot it in that pocket, drawn back, played the 4 in the exact same pocket.
Exactly. Since the 5 is located against the rail, it was very important to get a good angle on the 3 so you can maintain a good angle on the 4 to get to the 5.
See, when people play 9-ball, what these players are looking at, they're looking at always 3 balls ahead. 4 to the 5 to the 6. Billy's giving me funny looks here.
No, you're my man, and you know I wouldn't give you funny looks. Anyways, here's the problem, Mike. And he's laying fairly decent on the 5 to go over and play the 6-7 combination, but he still has to make the combination. Now, where the 6 ball goes after it hits the 7, that's the mystery, and that's what he has to solve right now. Looks like if he rolls this, Mike, that's the best way to play this shot.
Well, the 6 looks like it's going to go towards where the 9 ball is. Yeah, he hit it very easy. That was a good shot, yeah. I don't know if I have enough nerves or near to you to hit it that easy anymore.
Early in the match, you probably could have done it, but when the score gets close late, I don't think you would have shot it like that. Anyways, the score right now in the match is DeLiberto 2, Archer 1. Archer has an excellent chance to tie up this match.
You know what? I hope these guys speed up because we do have a dinner engagement in about another hour and 10 minutes, don't we? So if they play a little quicker, we'll be able to eat faster, won't we?
Well, sometimes you have to miss appointments. And this may be one of those times.
This may be one of those matches like we saw with Larry Hubbard and Dennis Hatch. Now, what was that an exciting match or what, huh?
That was an extremely exciting match.
People should buy that tape.
Definitely a classic. Definitely a classic.
That'll go down in history as one of the greatest matches of all time.
Definitely a classic. Larry Hubbard watched Dennis Hatch take a 10-4 lead, winning 9 consecutive games. Dennis Hatch watched Larry Hubbard turn around and beat him 7 consecutive games to steal the match away from him, 11-10. In the meantime, Johnny Archer has just pocketed a 6. It looks like he's laying perfectly for the 8. All he has to do is make the ball and draw the cue ball back about 2 or 3 feet.
Well, there again, what?
No, go right ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is, of course, he left Danny very, very tough. But what I was going to say is, see, when the cloth is thick and the table's playing a little wet, you have to hit the shot a lot harder or a lot more firm than you're normally used to, and therefore the error of missing a ball may come in. That's why when the tables are wet, I like to try and use the rails, get a little angle instead of getting straight on a ball and drawing back.
Well, that's true. Now, Danny, this is a tough shot for Danny.
Very. Look at that shot. That was unbelievable.
That was a beautiful shot,
Look
Danny.
at that shot. Wow.
Very nice shot by Mr. DeLiberto. Now taking a 3-1 lead in this match.
That was amazing. Now, see, Danny is used to wet tables. He knows that all he had to do is kind of make the 8 firm, and the cue ball's naturally going to swing all the way around 4 rails. But that was an extremely difficult shot.
Yes, it was. It was an extremely difficult shot. Danny was close to the rail. The 8 ball was close to the rail, well on the other end of the table. He had to go 4 rails around. He had to hit it very pure. He had to hit it with a good stroke. He couldn't come up on the ball. All his mechanics were perfect. The results were there.
Danny's breaking. He almost made one. No.
Well, Danny's very accustomed to not making balls in the break, so I don't think he'll have a problem dealing with this.
Yeah, but he was telling me before the match that he feels very comfortable. Only Grady and the professor feel that they're going to make balls in the break every game, so therefore they're going to run out all the time. What do you think about that, Grady?
These pearls of wisdom shall have to remain unanswered.
Okay, Mike, can Johnny see the 1 ball here? It looks like he can.
Yeah, it's the yellow ball right up there in the top.
Yeah, I can see it too.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, now Johnny has a 2-9 combination. There's no question he's going for this, and I think he has to go ahead and stroke this in, and don't be afraid to hit it hard.
Is that how you would hit that shot?
Absolutely. I'd scramble the balls up a little bit, and if he shoots it easy, the 9 might stick around, or the 2 might stick around in case he misses it in front of the pocket for Mr. DeLiberto. We don't want that to happen. Let's go ahead and shoot it pretty hard. Yeah. Maybe we'll make the 4. Maybe we'll make the 9.
That's
maybe
right.
we'll hook him. Let's give it some action. Let's get some action out of this shot. See, now he hit it hard, exactly the way I would have played it. Maybe that mightn't have been the right way, but now Mr. DeLiberto doesn't have much of a shot, but he has a good safety.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have a shot to win the game.
Well, he has. He actually does have a shot to win the game. If he hits the 2 ball and sticks behind the 9, 8, and 7, if he gets ball in hand, he may run out. So
but that's not a shot to win the game. That's
we'll have to see what happens.
That's a shot to put his opponent in trouble.
Yeah, that sure is. Yeah. And I'd say he's definitely in some big trouble here.
It looks like it. So what do? You tie up a 3-5? What do you do?
I don't know. This is
you got to tie
many
up.
different things can happen.
I would tie up something here, Mike. I mean, he can't hit this ball. And
I think you'd have to. You know what he should probably do is kick at the rail, or maybe just hit the 3 and tie up the 5.
And he knows what to do. He's going to tie up the 3-5. Oh,
he did it very well.
Excellent shot.
He did it very well.
Excellent shot. Okay, now Danny has a little problem. He's got cue ball in hand, but he has a little problem.
Danny said that was his favorite shot, too, when he gets cue ball in hand. He enjoys that shot a lot. He was telling me that earlier today.
Yes. There's a lot of people that enjoy cue ball in hand. I don't know what he's trying to do here.
Well, I think when
he's coming down for the billiard.
He's coming down for the billiard. Now, then again, there's another option. See, many times when you have ball in hand, let's say in the 2 and the guy ties the ball, you can also play position for some kind of a safety. But it looks like he's playing the billiard on this shot. He played it very well, but as you can see, Johnny Archer was very intelligent because Well, of course, now he's going to be stuck again, I think. Danny's going to try and play
Not
safety.
necessarily. This is not an easy shot here. Okay. Okay, now I think you're going to see Mr. Archer bring out his jump stick.
Yeah.
Danny made an excellent safety, but unfortunately, Johnny Archer is an excellent jump shot expert.
You know, there is a lot of discussion about this jump cue because what's the sense of snookering somebody when they bring out a little cue and jump over the balls? Now, Grady can do that, you see, but the other players, I don't know.
Well, what do you mean, what's the sense in snookering somebody when they can bring out the jump stick? What's the sense of not snookering somebody if you don't have a shot at an offensive
Yeah,
shot?
exactly right. Well, you have to play safe, but then if somebody jumps over the ball, the safety doesn't look all that well.
Well, it's not as strong as it normally would have
Yeah.
been, but the results were in Danny's favor, so he can't argue with success. Okay, Danny has ball in hand. Johnny Archer had just fouled, enabling Danny to put the cue ball anywhere on the table. And let's see if Danny can make good of his opportunity. Mike, I really am enjoying this with you.
I'm learning something with Billy. Yeah, you're very intelligent. You know that, don't you?
I'm very intelligent. Yeah.
Of course, now then again, see, well, Danny's in a pretty good situation. I think he can shoot the 6 and draw back. But when a table's playing like this, it's always much easier to go to a rail than it would be just draw down table. If you hit it too hard or too easy, something could happen.
He hit it perfectly.
He hit it perfect.
Absolutely. He's got a perfect angle to go to the short rail, and then with a little right-hand English spin out, passing the 9 and shooting the 8 ball in the corner that he's shooting over now. Very nice.
I predict Danny will win this game.
You're going out on the limb there.
Yeah, I'm going out on a limb here.
Okay, let's see if you're right. I think you're right because Johnny looks like he's going to concede this game. So at the end of game number 5, Mr. DeLiberto, Dirty Danny, or is that the Wonder Wop they call him now? Wonder Wop. Wonder Wop is leading in this match 4 games to 1.
Now Danny's was a very good bowler. Danny was an excellent boxer. He's a man of many, many, many talents. He can actually throw a golf ball over 100 yards.
He's a remarkable man, and at one time carried a 210 bowling average.
And Angelo Dundee was his trainer, and he won 13 fights, 12 by knockout and 1 by decision. He used to hit the guy so hard, he broke his hands. If you ever notice when Danny's shooting, the cue he holds the butt of the cue with, the hand that he holds the butt of the cue with, he holds it very funny. That's because his hands are, most of his knuckles are broken. People don't realize that. He holds it only with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
It's amazing he plays as well as he does under those circumstances. When you look at the other players, they use all their fingers and thumb.
It's amazing he plays as well as he does considering how poorly he breaks the balls. Again, he hasn't made a ball in the break, Mike.
Well, he's breaking them. He's breaking them good. Of course, he did again. He broke the balls and didn't make a ball, but he left the other guy an opportunity to win the game.
Absolutely, and I think Mr. Archer is going to take advantage of this because he's playing extremely well, and especially in these tournaments, and he's got himself a little bit out of line, and I don't know if he can successfully get position on a 3. He's got to really stroke it. He's stretching too. He's a tall fella. In order for him to stretch, he has to be pretty far out of line. He's going to be stretching on this shot. The only way he can shoot the shot, Mike, is to draw it to the rail. And that requires a pretty good stance.
It looks like if he fouls it, he's going to hit the 4 ball. I can't really tell from here.
He's got to draw it to the rail.
He looks like he can miss the 4 if he hits it easy.
Oh, I don't like it. He hit the 4, Mike. I don't like it. He shouldn't have done that, Mike.
That was a bad shot.
He shouldn't have done that.
I wonder why I've been on the loser side so long now.
What'd you say, Professor?
No comment.
Oh, I thought so. Anyways, he elected to follow the ball, which was ill-advised. By following the ball, increased his chances of going into the 4 and hooking himself, and that's exactly what did happen. He didn't even succeed in kicking to hit the 3. So now, once again, Mr. DeLiberto has ball in hand, and looks like the professor wants to say something about it.
I just want to say that it appears that Johnny Archer is in the give-up or self-destruct mode, and if he doesn't do something pretty quickly, he's going to have a long evening.
Well,
see, now with the inexperience of the younger players, see, the older players know that the way these tables are playing, just I keep going back to that match because it was remarkable with Hubbard and Hatch. Now, that's one extreme to the other, but when the tables are playing like this, it is very capable to win 4, 5, or 6 games in a row. Danny DiLiberto knows that, so if Archer realizes that he may think if he gets down by 3 or 4 or 5 games, he doesn't really have much of a chance, but Danny knows if he's down by 5 or 6 games, he knows he can still win.
That's
So
true.
that's the inexperience that's showing up, and there's no reason why Archer should really blow up at this stage right now.
Well, I believe that young Johnny Archer will gather himself because he's been through this before and he realizes that he can't allow himself to get like this because I've talked with Johnny Archer about this very particular thing that we're talking about. And he's well aware of his problem, and I feel that he'll be able to gather himself. Now, Danny has a long shot, and he can hit it with a good speed. The pocket will accept it. Now he's actually perfect for the 8.
I think this table's playing much more difficult than it was about an hour ago because there's more people in here. And the table, I can just tell by the way cue ball's acting, is playing very wet. Look at that ball. See that ball bounce off?
No question about it. I see the change in the table myself. I noticed that when Danny shot his first shot, he bounced out of line on the 6 ball. But regardless, Danny won game number 6 and now is leading in this match 5-1. Now Johnny Archer got to be extremely careful now not to allow any other opportunity to slip away from him because he can't allow Danny to win very many more games from his mistakes.
I think when the table is playing this wet, even though Danny's not making balls in the break, it's not automatic to run out. So I think a 5-1 lead at this particular stage is very, very big unless the table changes and gets easier.
That's exactly right. And let's look at the line.
Look at that.
Well, Danny finally made a ball on the break, but unfortunately the cue ball went in the inside pocket and he wasn't rewarded for it. And then the ball he made was the 9. Well, Mr. Archer has ball in hand behind the head string. Now let's see if he can do anything.
Would that be called the agony of defeat there or what? Well, then again, I saw Danny gave Johnny Archer ball in hand behind the line, but Johnny Archer has a little funny shot because as you can see the 6 ball's kind of in front of the 1 ball. So he's going to have to play position on a fairly tough cut on the 1 to get to the 2 ball.
I heard a neat saying that you guys and the audience might enjoy the other day. You have to be real careful in this game not to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
That's wonderful. Be very careful not to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And so many people are guilty of that, including myself. That's something I haven't been able to shake recently. Meanwhile, Johnny pocketed the 1 and ran into the 8, Mike, and he has to play safe off the 2.
And he did it. Oh, he got lucky there.
Very, very nice. Very nice. He did, but he hit the ball very well. The cue ball is very close to the 7. He's allowed to get lucky.
Of course, now here's another situation. Excuse me if I
go right
interrupt,
ahead,
Billy.
That doesn't bother me at all.
Here's another situation. Now, if Johnny Archer had made the 1 and not hit the 8, he may have run out, and this situation would never come up. We'll have to see what happens here.
Well, Danny didn't make the 2.
He's still up.
Obviously.
The situation comes up that if you run out when you get an opportunity, the other guy never has a chance to win the game, whether he's kicking or not.
Danny's going to find himself kicking again.
Yeah.
Danny's saying, get dead, get dead, get dead. But it didn't, Danny. Well, I like the 2-rail kick here, Mike, opposed to the 1-rail kick.
Yeah,
that
the
way
side pocket looks like it's in the way.
No, 1, 2, that way. Yeah, right, exactly. I like the 2-rail kick, and I believe Danny will kick that way, and maybe not, maybe not. He can make the 9 this way, though. He can make the billiard on the 9. Anything's possible. Ooh,
he hit it.
He almost. I mean, it wasn't very often.
Now here we go. You see what happened? Now that gets back to the shot where Johnny Archer ran into the 8. That's why this whole thing happened.
Exactly right. If you have an opportunity to run out, you better run out when you're playing world-class players. Or if you don't, you got a problem, regardless of what happens.
Of course, look what happened there. It's a funny game, isn't it? 9-ball.
Sure, it's a funny game, but you know, Danny has a stick in his hand and he's at the table. Danny hit the shot fairly well.
Danny hit a very good shot.
He wanted to hook Johnny with the shot, but it was extremely difficult to do that. But he'll take exactly what was given to him, and he executed the shot very well, and he's very happy with the lead. Now Johnny has a problem. How do you deal with this, Mike?
It's a good question.
Thanks.
He has to hit, well, he can only hit a half of the 2 ball. Now, he's got 2 or 3 different options, but then again, he may try and hit this edge of the 2 ball, go around the table, up table, and put the 2 maybe by the 4 and 9. If he can hit the 2 on the other side, it's very tough to tell. Looks like he can hit the 2 on the other side, so therefore he's probably going to just stick the cue ball. There you go, and put the 2 up table. That's a very good shot.
That was a very good decision on his part. The 5-6 blocked the pocket.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of distance between the cue ball and the 2 ball. Unfortunately, the two laid next to the 6. He laid next to the 6, but he still has to pocket it.
Yeah, it's a little funny shot. It's a little off-angle combination. But he made it.
He made it. Made a very nice shot.
You know what? Mentally, I know Danny for many, many years. We're very good friends. We even grew up in the same area. I'm from upstate New York, and so is Danny. And Danny, I know, feels very comfortable right now because he knows that Johnny Archer doesn't figure to run 3, 4, 5 racks because he knows the table is playing very, very difficult. So a 3 or 4 game lead right now. Danny's shooting many, many times a game, and he likes that.
There are a lot of things that can relax a person.
Yeah.
One of the things that can relax a person is his ability in himself to run out. Another thing that can relax a person is the way the conditions of the table, knowing that the table will prevent his opponent from running out.
Yeah.
And with a lead, like Mike said, with the lead of 5 games to 1, and knowing his opponent can't run out, that is what's relaxing him right now.
Yeah,
and he's playing very well.
He is playing very well, and also that he knows that the table is breaking very, very tough, and therefore 3, 4, 5 game rack would be very, very difficult.
Very unlikely that would happen, yes. And Danny is playing extremely well, and he's kicking very well, and he deserves to get lucky occasionally off of kicks.
Yeah. The table's playing very tough. A 4 or 5 game lead right now. Now, normally on looser conditions, I think Johnny Archer's break would probably overpower Danny. I really believe that. But it's not showing up right now.
That's for sure, and that was an excellent assessment of exactly why Danny is a favorite on a wet table opposed to on a dry table. On a dry table, the break is so much more powerful because balls are easier to run and easier to pocket on the break.
See, Danny also, watch this
out,
ball, watch this ball.
Watch out.
Oh, he hit the 9. Look at this.
Look
Oh,
at here,
my
look
God.
at here.
Perfect control.
Okay. Oh.
Did he try and do that or what?
After game number 7, Danny extends his lead over young Johnny Archer 6 games to 1, and it seems like everything is rolling for Danny. But I'm not taking anything away from Mr. DeLiberto. He is playing remarkably well.
He is playing very good. He's had opportunities, and he's taken advantage of them. Also, Danny, for many years, Danny lived in Florida. That's where the wettest conditions, so that's where he has a lot of experience on a wet table. He lived in Florida many, many years, 7 to 10 years.
Well, he broke the balls very well,
Yeah.
very well. I mean, considering who broke the balls.
Yeah. But
he hit the 1 ball square. The cue ball came right back, and the balls opened up fairly good. He didn't make a ball on the break, but he hit the break very good for him.
And he left Johnny Archer a makeable shot on the 1, but getting position on the 2 ball is another story. Now, many times in this game, you can't get to the next ball, or if you can, you have to be a genius.
What about a
to
1
figure
ball
that out.
bank cross corner here?
Well, he may elect to do that. Well, you're a 1 pocket player, so
Yeah.
I know
With
you
the
saw
built-in
that shot
safety.
right away. And that was a very good shot.
The only reason I saw that shot was the professor nudged me and
Yeah, that's
said
right.
to me,
Yeah, I saw that.
1 ball cross corner. Danny again kicked successfully, and what happened with the cue ball this time?
Well, he's got a shot at the 1, but
he left Archer a shot on the 1. What do you think he'll do with it?
Well, I think he's going to try and come in that alleyway in between the 5 and I believe the 3 ball, come all the way around the table for the 2 ball. And you hit that
That's
pretty
what he
good,
tried
I
to
think.
do. He tried to do
No,
it.
He got away with it, though. He hit the 3.
He
turned it
ran
right.
into the 3. Fortunately, after running into the 3, he reflected off the 3, and now he has a shot on the 2. And I don't know about this angle. It looks kind of funny to me.
Well, the 3 is right there, so I think he shouldn't have too much of a problem.
Okay, that looks okay.
Came
If he
off
gets too
good.
close to the rail, he's got a little problem.
Now, see, what he should have done first, you see what he did there? That was inexperience. He shot the 2, then the 3, then looked to see where the 4 could go. Anybody else, or a more experienced player, would look before even shooting the 2 to see where the 4 would go, to play position for the 3.
That's an excellent observation. And for you viewers out there, that's invaluable information you're getting from the head of Mike Sigel. And also, at times, Mr. Grady Matthews, to my right.
That's right. Grady many times notices all those things. But again, this game, I was saying earlier, this game is a 3-ball game. When you shoot the 1, you're looking to get to the 2 to get to the 3. Once you've pocketed the 1, you shoot the 2 to look at the 3 to get to the 4.
That's exactly
and so
right.
on and so on.
That's exactly right. It's very important to always remember, don't play position on the next ball. Play position on the 3rd ball always.
And that's right. You always want a little angle to get from, let's say, the 2 to the 3, then to the 4. And if you do that consistently, you'll come in tournaments, beat everybody, win all the money, and go home very happy, right?
That's right. It's not hard to remember.
It's
just
very,
play 2
very
balls
easy.
ahead all the
That's
time.
right.
That's all.
2 balls ahead.
If it's a 9's on the table, just play 2 balls ahead. The 9
Oh, my goodness, Johnny Archer.
Well, this 6-1 lead of Danny's,
Yeah.
it looks like the 6-1 lead of Danny's is getting to Mr. Archer.
We see Danny's
he's missing
friend
shots
and
now.
partner and maybe possible backer over here is smiling very nicely here after that shot.
That's Dick Hall, Danny's very, very close friend and admirer. And he's very pleased with the performance Danny's showing everyone here this evening. And I'm sure Danny's pleased with it, too.
Yeah, I can see Danny looks very comfortable. Of course, there's one thing. Danny is also an avid fisherman. I fished with Danny many, many times. So look at that shot. Now, there was a nice shot. See, now when he shot that shot, he knew the 5 would go towards that pocket. And notice where the cue ball is.
Exactly.
He played to go 2 rails and put the cue ball on the center table where his best
Exactly.
percentage to make the 5 ball would be.
Exactly. And if you noticed, Mike, it seems like the veteran players or the older players or the more experienced players know the better percentages.
Yeah. It's all percentages this game.
Not totally, but a large part of it.
Well, you amongst the good players, the percentages will usually win. Whoa. And then again.
Well, at the end of game number 8, it's Mr. Danny DiLiberto 7, Mr. Johnny Archer 1.
Well, we could see that after Danny won that game, there was one clap in the audience, so you know who everybody's rooting for anyway.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I don't think the fans have really been getting into the matches. You know, they haven't been really giving their showing their appreciation for the players that much, and so that's something they have to do more of.
Well, now Danny's broke from this spot every time and hasn't made a ball yet. Why does he keep breaking from there?
Because he's winning.
Again, he didn't make one. Oh, he did. Look, oh,
That's why he's winning. You see, what
Now,
the
you
heck?
didn't know
Why
that, did you?
change?
Now look at this. Look at this. The 1. Now see where the 2 and 9 are? I believe he'll shoot some kind of a billiard on the 2-9 because you see the 3, 6, and 7 are a little funny. So I think he'll play the 1 and come over to the side rail and possibly play a billiard on the 9 ball. I think I may do that. It may even be a safe shot or a combination. I think that's what he's looking at.
You know, one thing I admire about you is that you're able to pick up on these things instantly, which just shows me how natural of a player you really are. And Mr. DeLiberto, with his experience, obviously chose the same route you would have taken.
He looks like, well, he's running around a table, so he must be in a good position. I think he's going to play the billiard here.
Not only is he going to play the billiard, he's going to execute it perfectly and taking an 8-1 lead after game 9.
If Danny watches this tape again, now we're going to have to, he'll have to admit it to himself that I definitely caught much more bass than he did when we were in Buffalo about a month ago, so he'll have to remember that. We kind of disputed that a little bit. Now here we go again. Danny, maybe that's his lucky spot.
Well, you know, sometimes when you're winning a match, it's hard to go away from a spot on the table where you're breaking from, regardless if you're pocketing balls or not.
Look
You
at
know,
this. Uh-oh.
He could be a little superstitious, or maybe he feels that spot owes him a few.
Yeah, well, how about this? You're right. He made 3 balls he made on the break.
Danny made 3 balls. Whew. The 4 ball is located on the side rail next to the side pocket, Mike, and anytime a ball is located in that position of the table, it creates a problem.
Yeah, especially with the 3 ball on the other rail.
Okay,
Danny
hit
hit
it
this
fairly
shot.
well.
He's in good shape.
I think he's in very good shape on the 4. Now, he's close to the ball, which makes the shot much easier.
Up.
No, it came up. It came up a little bit. Well, that's actually...
That's a shame, too, because he finally made balls and had a really
That's actually the first missed ball that Danny has missed in the match.
Now, Johnny, even though he's got an opportunity, he's got to watch out because this table's very fast. He's liable to snooker himself on the 9 ball. So that's why he shot the. See where the cue ball wound up? He hit that with a little bit of English to make sure he stays on that side of the 9 as opposed to the other side. He wouldn't get snookered.
Another
that was very smart.
Another percentage.
The table is playing very wet. You could just tell that cue ball almost scratched.
Sure.
Even Johnny Archer flicked his hand, acknowledging that point.
I don't like the way he played that.
No,
I would have played the 9 in this corner pocket right here.
Yeah.
He runs to the rail, come right back out, and just take an easy shot in the corner.
You're right.
Well, regardless, Johnny Archer played it his way, pocketing the 9 and capturing game number 10, cutting into the lead. Now only trails 8 games to 2. Only trails 8 games to 2.
He did it his way. We get a little music in here also. A little, you know, Grady, we know, is an excellent singer. Why don't you sing a few words for us, Grady?
He's got a very good baritone voice.
He sure does.
She stood right there in the midnight air, and I won't continue it any further.
Well, here we go now. Johnny Archer has chose to break from the center of the table or more out in the open, and we'll see what. Now watch this break. That was devastating.
Ooh,
that was
balls
devastating.
Are rolling and rolling and rolling.
And look what happened. He hit those about as good as you can hit them, and nothing went in.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Every ball went not only past the side pocket, but the balls that went past the side pocket, half of them came back down the other end.
Yeah. I think you might be able to get a good shot of Danny's hand right now. If you look at his backhand, you see he's only holding the cue with two fingers, thumb and first finger. Well, he's playing the combination here. It's a little tricky. He made it. No problem for Danny. 2 bounces a little bit.
Okay, now he has a very difficult shot here, Mike.
Yeah, very difficult. If the 2 came out another inch, he'd shoot it in the side, stop 3 in the corner. He'd look in good shape.
Okay, now he's confronted with a decision right here. Do I go for the pocket or do I play a safe? The pocket is the corner pocket. I don't think the side's available from this angle.
Yeah, I think he's playing this in the corner. I think he's going to play in the corner and try and go back and forth. Play the 3.
In between the 7, 8, and
Yeah.
back across table.
Mm-hmm.
He hit it very well. He went into the 7, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay because he does have a shot in the 3. It's a testy shot, but let's see what he does with it.
You would spear this in 100 miles an hour, wouldn't you?
Well,
99 miles an hour. Well, he's going for the side pocket, though, I'm pretty sure. The younger players go for the corners, and the older players always go for the side.
well, the younger players like to shoot a little harder. They like to hear the sound of the pocket.
That's right. Yeah.
I myself, I prefer the side like Danny chose. I like to hear. I like to
I'm
see
shooting
the ball
on the
drop.
side, too, now.
You're
You know,
shooting
don't
on the
worry
side.
about it.
Yeah.
They got me going for the side pockets.
Danny's playing remarkably well here.
Like I said, he feels very comfortable. He knows the table's wet. He knows Johnny Archer really isn't a threat because the conditions being the running 3, 4, 5 racks is going to be extremely difficult, and therefore you're seeing Danny play a very good match.
He's playing very well. And
He hasn't playing good anyway.
This is game number 11, and if Danny runs the remaining balls on the table, the score will then be 9 games to 2 in favor of DeLiberto.
I think for the wet tables, I think Danny is probably one of the top 3 or 4 players in the world that plays this good on these conditions.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that. The score is 9-2 over the number 7th ranked player in the world today. Okay, well, now we're going to have an opportunity to watch Danny break him again, and it's going to be so boring.
Well, I'll bet that he breaks. Oh, he made 3 balls last time. What do you mean?
That's right. I'm sorry. He did. He made 3 balls on the break last time.
Of course,
Well,
now I did
things
pick
happen. I guess when you're playing as well as he's playing right now, your adrenaline starts flowing, and you can break him better.
Yeah. What if we see another match like Larry Hubbard and and
don't
Hatch?
say that.
We'll be starving, won't we, tonight? Ooh, Danny hit him and nothing. But he's playing defense now, I think.
Yeah, he's protecting the lead.
I happen to agree with Mike. It almost looked like Danny played the 1 down in the middle of the end rail, that break to protect the lead.
That's right. Now, I'll tell you something. There's a few players I won't mention that do break that way intentionally because they do break. They don't break that well, and they break a semi-safety break. It's not allowed in tournament play. You can't break safe, but this looks like.
Look how them balls are laying. Isn't that weird? Like a little picket fence all the way across the corner. Look,
you know, that's one thing. That's one thing I like about your game. You pick those things up right away, immediately.
Look at it. Look at the 3 and 9. That's a nice billiard right there.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah.
I like to get to that first.
Danny is shooting this I find that hard to believe, but he must think he's very confident.
Well, I
Look at
find it
that
hard to
shot.
believe, too.
That was unbelievable. Look how good he
Especially
hit
where
that
the 2
ball.
is located. You only have one pocket for the 2.
And he's perfect. He's perfect.
He's perfect. Like, he's playing with a pencil instead of a cue stick, it looks like.
Well, he's very confident, and I'll tell you, this game, like any other sport, is all mental. Once you have the ability to play the game, I mean, obviously, a person that's beginning couldn't beat Danny DiLiberto, but players that play close together, it's very mental, and Danny is mentalized, I guess.
Mentalized, and he's brutalizing Mr. Johnny Archer.
I think he's going to... Oh, well, look at this shot. Wow.
No, all of a sudden he's got a stroke.
Well, did you see? I thought he was going to hit that easy and play a billiard. He's going for the run out now.
Oh, my goodness.
DD. They call him DD.
DD. Oh, I don't know. Some people call him WW.
Man of many talents. Can you believe he can throw a golf ball over 100 yards? That's incredible, isn't it?
Well, Danny in his younger days, and I'm not saying that he can't still do it, used to challenge anyone in the world throwing a golf ball. I thought he was very brave doing so, but I don't think he was ever beaten.
Whoa. Now, how about this shot? When you're going good, you're going good. There you go. He tried, I think, a billiard on the 9. He tried a combination billiard on the 9 ball, and look how he left Johnny Archer.
Well,
this is when you may be throwing the towel, huh? It's like 9-2.
This is 9 ball, and anything can happen
And
playing
look at
9
this.
ball. Johnny Archer kicks the ball, successfully hitting it. But the results aren't really favorable for him, leaving Danny straight in the pocket on the 3 ball. But, of course, the 4 ball is laying on a part of the table where it's not really that easy to get to.
I think, Danny also has a chance here to play billiard on the 9, believe it or not.
Nah, don't say that. Nah.
What do you mean nah? As good as he's going right now? He's looking at it.
Yeah, he's looking at it. You're right. He is looking at it.
Yeah, now, you know what?
He's looking at it.
And guess what?
He's looking at it. He wants to play it because I see that right.
He's looking. He's looking. Now he's going to shoot the 3.
Yeah. Left-hand English is the billiard. He's not using the left-hand English.
Yeah, he's drawing back.
Yeah.
I think.
How about stopping back into 4?
It looks like the 7's in the way. I don't know. Or maybe I'm going blind.
He didn't think so.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Now, I know you're a great bank pool player. You live in Chicago now, where all the bank pool players are. So.
Oh, in other words, if you live in Chicago, you can bank, right?
Oh, there you go.
There's 9 million people live in Chicago. They all can bank?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just like the eastern part of the country is straight pool. Down south is 9 balls.
I don't know. Larry Howard played in his match, and he banked 5 balls. He's from Rochester.
He's traveled around the
He's a
country.
cool player. They don't bank up there, do they?
Well, this is a big game for Danny now. He's going to go ahead 10-2. Getting to 9.
This is a big game for Johnny, not Danny.
Well,
Danny's already got 9 games. But
well, he's out of line. He's out of line. He's got a funny shot.
he's really out of line. I like to be out of line like this. He's going to go to the side rail right below the side pocket and just come off the rail in perfect position for the 8, and then it's history, right, Mr. Matthews?
At 9-1, these are easy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I haven't been ahead 9-1 lately, so I'm always struggling. Billy always takes care of his opponents. He goes like 10. I think you beat everybody 11-0 most of the time, don't you?
Well, from up here, I've won every one of my matches 11-0. And at the end of game number 12, Mr. DeLiberto is leading 10-2.
10-2.
And it's a walk in the park.
How about this now? Danny DiLiberto, little known fact. Now, many years ago, they had Ephraim Reyes, a fantastic player from the Philippines, and he was beat. He won some tournaments. He beat all the top players. Danny played him in the tournament, as bad as he was breaking, and beat Ephraim 11-1. Now, how about
11-1?
11-1. Unbelievable.
Well, that's the worst shellacking Ephraim Reyes has ever taken in this country for sure.
And this man right here did it to him.
And this man right now is playing an excellent 9 ball.
And he made a ball in the break.
And he even makes balls in the break now.
He can hit the 1.
And can hit the 1. If he can hit the 1 leading 10-2, I don't care where it's at. I think he's going to go for the pocket.
Well, the ball's froze on the end rail. He's going to try and hit this a little bit of right English, hit the rail and the ball at the same time. He's got a chance to make this. And
he did. He did. This is a wonderful finale for him. Cutting the ball in backwards.
He's got a. Oh,
he's got a problem.
Shoot.
That's where he's got a problem.
This is tough.
If the angle is as it appears to be, he's going to have to go into the 8 because he's frozen on the rail.
Yeah, he may have to elevate his cue. Therefore, the
Elevate his
risk
cue.
of missing the shot comes into play.
It certainly increases the
But-
possibility of missing.
Just like Grady said, Grady's very intelligent. When you're ahead 10-2, these shots don't look as tough as when you're behind 10-2.
That's very profound. Whoa, here he goes, and he got rewarded for it. He put a good stroke on the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't get lucky. He got rewarded for his stroke and
He
his
hit that
ability
very
to
well.
pocket the ball.
He hit that like you used to hit that about 30, 40 years ago. I
You
think,
remember
eh?
30,
Yeah.
40? I didn't think you remembered that
No,
far
that's
back.
right. I'm only 22. I forgot.
Well,
Very
Danny
nice
is
shot.
playing extremely well. He's hitting the center of the pocket.
You know, Danny
He's
just had,
controlling the cue ball. He doesn't have any problems at all dealing with these conditions.
yeah, he feels comfortable, but he also had an operation. He came out very successful with it. A little slight problem he had. He had that about maybe 10 days ago. He just got out of the hospital. He feels real good. He doesn't have any problems. He was a little concerned, and I think you're seeing the results of that.
See that little shot he shot? That was a touchy little shot considering how what the table's
Yeah.
playing right now. But look, he's in perfect line for the 7. The 8's hanging in the corner pocket. He has a 10-2 lead, and it looks like he'll be up to see us in momentarily.
This is a fast match.
You mean we can make dinner now?
Oh yeah, we have dinner plans now.
Okay, and unless Johnny doesn't concede this match, it'll be over quicker. Okay,
It's a great match.
at the end of game number 13, Danny DiLiberto has won the match 11 games to 2. And he played remarkably well, Mike. And
He sure did. He can't fish, but he played very well in pool.
yeah, that's probably the best session I've seen here so far, up to date. He only made considering the conditions, Mike, he only missed 1 ball in the match, all right?
Yeah, he played extremely
I mean,
well.
he had 3 fouls, 2 of them were break fouls, which, you know, they're not that devastating, you know. He had 1 foul straight in the pocket he scratched, 2 break fouls, and only 1 missed ball.
Yeah. Under the conditions, I think he played a perfect match. You are going to make
Absolutely right.
mistakes. There's the one thing in pool that no matter how good you play, everybody's going to make mistakes. If you didn't make any mistakes, you'd win every time you played.
You'd be mistakeless.
You'd be just like Billy used to be many years ago.
Or you'd be mistake-proof.
Mistake-proof. But he played
Or
very
what's
well.
the right word for that?
What, for what?
If you don't make any mistakes, what are you?
It means that you
Errorless.
played errorless pocket
Errorless,
billiards
there
for
you
long
go.
periods of time.
Airless pool for long periods of time. Okay, well, I'll buy that. And is that the way you're playing right now, or is that Oh, well, it's so wonderful to have gems on both sides of you.
Oh, here comes Danny.
Well, I'm sure he's eager to come over here.
Danny's running over here. Look,
sure he's eager.
flying over. I told him, I said, you're not. No, I told him you're not much of a fisherman, but you're a good pool player. I explained that.
Well, first, Danny, I mean, we both want to congratulate you on a remarkable performance. It was a sterling performance. I mean, I was very impressed with the way you played out there. I'm sure all the fans here were all the people here were equally impressed. I mean, considering the conditions, I know the table was wet out there, and it's very difficult to play under those types of conditions. You played remarkably well, and Johnny Archer was completely demoralized by the way you played. Go ahead, Danny. Let's hear from you.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that the tables are getting a little tricky and tighter, and I think experience will help the veterans with that kind of situation. Plus, I don't think, as good as young players are playing, I don't think they have safeties down real well. You know, and that may have beat him too. I don't know. Anyway, he's a much better player than he played.
Well, what you say is true. Experience will prevail under these types of conditions, usually. But it takes a little more than experience to beat a player like Johnny Archer. It takes execution, it takes experience, it takes a lot of things that you showed out there tonight. And again, I'd like to congratulate you. And if Mike, you have anything to say?
Yeah, well, I was explaining, because I've watched Danny play for many years, I explained that you live in Florida, where the conditions are something like this, and as we saw the match progress, we saw that you were obviously a favorite. You felt very comfortable playing on these tables, and you know, I was saying you're one of the top 3 or 4 players probably in the world that plays very good on these conditions.
And one other thing, not to slight Danny right now, but Mike, you're excellent, and you've done a fine job commentating Danny's match. You got into the match. A lot of your predictions were very accurate, and he played a flawless match. And the only person that maybe played equally as well was you up here.
Well, I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope that people watching this tape learned a few things, try and put a little insight on what goes on inside the players' heads. And
Well, thank you, boys. Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you later, Mr.
all right,
WW.
go to dinner. Go to dinner, Danny.
Okay, Mike, I really have enjoyed doing this match with you. And you're extremely insightful, and all the people that will view this tape will probably feel the same way. And Mr. Grady Matthews to our right, he came in and out with little profound sayings and remarks, and he was very insightful also at times. So this is Bill Incardona along with my special guest, Mike Sigel. Pat Fleming, if you were to give a rating on this particular match, Pat, how would you rate this match as far as Danley's performance? From 1 to 10, 10 being the best. Oh, I see. Well, anyways, for anyone that is viewing this match or interested in purchasing this match or any match of this event, or for that matter, any event, contact Pat Fleming. And if you can't talk to him direct, call him at 201-838-7089. So this is Bill Incardona along with Mike Sigel and the Professor Grady Matthews saying that we hope everyone gets as many rolls as Danny did, but is able to take advantage of them as Danny did. So I guess we'll see you either tomorrow in the evening or possibly later on this evening for another fine match.